Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Done Yet podcast, where your purpose is just moments away and I'm here to help you get there. What's up, guys? It is another week, another Sunday, which means that it is time for another episode. I hope everyone had a good weekend and got a chance to do the things that really make them happy and they were productive and it pushed them into purpose. And you know, I'm all about purpose, right? So this week we are going to talk about the pursuit of happiness. Right? And no, we're not talking about the Will Smith movie. We're talking about the pursuit of happiness when it means that you are totally surrendering everything to God, right? So it's crazy because this week, or past week, I have been struggling with being happy, with being okay with where I am, and just being stressed about things that I can't control, right? But we all know that it's not in our control. It's in God's control. And you have to focus on the things that you can control, right? And the things that you can control are your thoughts, thinking about happy things, thinking about good things, and thinking about positive things, right? Not thinking about what we don't have, what we should have, and what we want to have, right? Because that's nothing but comparison. It's nothing but us trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say. But more so, you should be pursuing the things that make you happy, right? And we all go through things, whether it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and physically. But it's how we handle those things that kind of shape us in a way to pursue our happiness. And so today we're going to talk about what that means, pursuing it emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, pursuing happiness and peace in all aspects of our life, right? So let's hop right into it. So let's talk about pursuing your happiness emotionally, right? So in today's society, things come quick, they come fast, and we want them to come quick and we want them to come fast. Or we're so stuck in this comparison stage, right? Well, why does this person have it and why don't I have it? Or why is it happening for them and it's not happening for me? Right? But the thing is, like I always tell you guys, is that you are where you're supposed to be because that's where God wants you to be, right? Emotionally, you're probably drained and you're stuck and you're stressed out. And it's just like, God, why can't I ever be happy? Why can't I ever find that little piece of happiness? But you want to know why? It's because you're so focused about everybody else's emotions, right? And not your own. You're so focused about what everybody else is doing and not you worrying about what things are you doing emotionally that's going to help you fulfill your purpose. That's going to help you pursue your happiness, right? And emotionally, it all starts with you surrendering everything that you're feeling. Surrendering is a tough word. It's a hard word, right? I know that. Been there, done that, and still going through that. But you have to really look yourself in the mirror and just say, I surrender. I surrender my emotions because I want to be at peace so much. I don't care about how anybody else feels. I don't care about what anyone has to say. All that I care about is what God is, what you think of me, how you feel that I should be moving right now, right? And emotionally, like I said, you're so concerned about what everyone else is doing and what everybody else is feeling. And you know those things can jump on you, right? If you weren't feeling depressed before or sad before until you started talking to someone about how sad they feel, how depressed they are, those feelings start to manifest when that wasn't the case, right? And it's okay of being a shoulder to cry on. It's okay to be a listener when someone needs to just vent about everything that they're going through. It is okay. But you have to remember and you have to realize that those are their emotions, their feelings, not yours. Okay, you have to realize and think like, oh God, I don't want those emotions jumping on me. I don't want their sad stories jumping on me because I'm not sad right now. I'm happy. I'm happy about where I am. I'm happy about what I'm doing. And I'm choosing to be happy about everything that I'm going through. Whether it may not look good to someone else, but it's feeling good to me because I know that it's temporary. I know that it's only just a state. It's a state of mind, and your emotions matter because it's how you start your day, it's how you end your day, it's how you start something, you like start a project, and it has a lot to do with how you finish or what things you decide to pick up in your emotions. And that's why people always say sometimes it's best to think with your head and not with your heart, because your heart could be leading you somewhere that you feel is of a genuine place, and it gets you in trouble, right? But it always goes back to that saying of like, God knows my heart. God knows what I'm feeling. God knows my intentions. He knows all of that, right? And so emotionally, you want to be happy, but you have to make the choices to be happy. You can't sit around here and complain about everything that is going wrong. You can't. You have to look at the things that you feel are going wrong as lessons. You got to think, well, okay, God, why are you putting me through this? Why are you making me go through this? Right? And if you follow me on Instagram, my closing video for last week was you deserve it. Right? You deserve to be challenged. You deserve to be tested. You deserve to see why God chose you to go through those certain things. And 9 times out of 10, it is to test you emotionally. It is to test your faith. It is to see that if you are as strong as a believer as you say that you are, your emotions are going to make or break your happiness, right? You got to stay strong. And I know that it's easier said than done, but you have to put yourself in those places that allow you to be happy, right? That allow you to be free, that allow you to feel like you can be yourself. You can show those emotions. You can literally do anything that you put your mind to, because that's what you were destined to be, right? That's what you were destined to do. And you have to believe that. You have to be so headstrong in knowing that it's temporary. Like I said, it's a state of mind. Emotions are temporary. Yes, sometimes you feel like you want to cry. Yes, I go through that too. There are days where I just want to break down and cry. But just knowing that crying, it may soothe me in that moment, right? It makes me emotional in that moment to cry so much, but what am I going to do to stop crying? What am I going to do to show God that, yeah, I trust you. I believe you when you said that you're going to do that thing that you told me that you were going to do, right? You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And the thing is, but allow those emotions to come out. Allow those emotions to keep working and keep rolling until you start seeing what God wants you to see. You know, and I'm mostly known as an emotional person because the littlest thing can set me off, but 9 times out of 10 it's a good thing, and they are tears of joy, you know, because I'm choosing to embrace a moment. You have to choose to embrace all these moments that God throws your way. You hear me? And allow that emotion to come out. Your emotion is going to help you on your pursuit of happiness, because it only takes one moment, one time, and one thing to really put you in that continuous place of being happy. But knowing that there is peace and love and favor on the other side. Let's talk about pursuing your happiness mentally. Okay, so we all know that our mental states are one of the toughest things to deal with, because our mind is always rolling. It's always working, and it's like it's always working like 60 miles an hour or 150 miles per hour. But the thing is, we allow our thoughts to take over. Right? We allow those negative thoughts to start manifesting in ways that they shouldn't be, right? And that goes with the fear. the doubt, the worthiness. And you're just like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? Because your mental is not where it's supposed to be. Every day you should get up with a clean mental slate, right? Waking up, thanking God, praying, however you start your day off with worship and letting God know, like, thank you for allowing me to still be here. Thank you for allowing me to know that I'm not done yet and I still have purpose to fulfill, purpose to carry out, right? Your mental is going to allow you to start thinking the things that God wants you to think, right? It's going to allow you to start walking indoors and walking in places, thinking and knowing that you are meant to be there, even if you feel like you're unqualified to be there. You have to get your mental in such great shape that when things are thrown at you, my mental is still working like, girl, you got this. Baby, you got this. Ain't nothing gonna stop you. Is it gonna be a little tough? Yes. Is it gonna hurt a little bit? Yes. But mentally and emotionally, I'm capable of getting through this. I'm capable of doing it. And even if it may look hard to somebody else, baby, it's not hard for me. No, because I prayed about this thing. I worked on this thing. I've sat and made the time to make sure that when my time comes, I'm prepared. And mentally, you have to start thinking and walking and talking like it's already yours, right? Talking that happiness is mine. Are there going to be some times where I'm let down? Yes. But mentally, I'm happy because why? Losing that person was a lesson. Losing that job was a lesson. Because mentally, I was prepared for this. Mentally, it's not going to faze me. Mentally, may have a slip up now and then, but baby, I'm strong. I'm meant for this. It all starts with your mental and your emotional. You got to start reading things and watching things that allows your mental to be challenged, right? Or even at looking at the videos like, dog, they went through that, but I know if God gave it to me, I'm going to come back 10 times strong because mentally he prepared me for that, right? Mentally, he's like, daughter, son, I got this. This is why those moments have been so tough for you, because I was mentally preparing you to see yourself through. And you got to be okay with that. Like, do you ever wonder sometimes where it's like a burst of an idea or a burst of an emotion because it was something that you had never thought of, or like, what if it happened to me? Right? And you know, we all have those thoughts like, that could never be me. That could never be me. And then when it becomes you, you're like, okay, maybe it could have been me. But when that thing that shouldn't have happened to you did happen to you, you are already mentally ready for that. You are already on go because you knew what was on the other side. You knew that, yes, like I said, it's temporary. But I know that there's greatness on the other side. I know that there's favor on the other side. Mentally, I am making sure that each and every day that I'm starting my day off with thanks. I'm starting it off with gratitude. I'm starting my day off with worship so I could get my mental right before I walk into that office. Because y'all know Monday to Friday, it's like, 2 days is not enough. But mentally, I am prepared that I have X, Y, and Z to get done between Monday and Friday. Lord, give me the strength to do that. Give me the strength to keep pushing and to keep going and to keep pushing myself to be mentally and emotionally stronger than ever before. Your happiness is always going to be based on what you think about yourself, what you think about the moment, and what you think about your future. You have to mentally prepare yourself for things that are happening right now. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, not a month from now, but right now. Mentally, you gotta be there, and you have to want it. You have to want to be mentally aware, right? And and mentally, people do go through things of anxiety and depression and other mental illnesses, but yet talking to someone makes those things feel like it's just a piece of what they're going through, right? That knowing that I have someone that I can talk to, or I have something helping me to deal with that mental illness, that's allowing my mental state to be clear, right? We all know that we got a whole bunch of thoughts going on up here in our head. We know that. But what are we doing to separate it, the real things, from the noise, right? Because we know a lot of things that we hear, it's just noise. Things that we see, things that we want, and we know maybe right now, that's not probably what's supposed to be going on in my life right now. It's not mentally where I'm supposed to be right now, right? Right, mentally, right now, you're supposed to be focused on what's going on right now. Like I said, not tomorrow or the next day or 3 or 4 years from now. How am I mentally showing up for myself right now? How did I get to the space that I'm in right now? Right? Allow your thoughts to become your truth. Are you going to have some bad thoughts? Yes. But allow your good thoughts to outweigh the bad thoughts, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about progress. It's about showing yourself day in and day out that you can do it. You can do any and everything you put your mind to. Any and everything, right? Pursue your happiness. Pursue it as if it's the last thing that you're ever gonna do, right? Pursue it. Pursue it like it's the crown, right? Because ultimately, at the end, it's all about saying that I lived a happy life. I lived a great life. Yeah, there were things that came in my way that probably knocked me off the curve and knocked me off my path, but I got back on. I didn't allow that thing or those things to stop me from being happy, right? Let's talk about pursuing your happiness physically, okay? So think about it. We are in this age or this generation where now it's like your health is your wealth, right? And if anybody that knows me, that follows me on social media, I don't even want to say like a gym junkie, but I love working out, right? Working out for me is like a stress reliever. Even though it's only 3 days a week, those 3 days a week, I'm going hard, okay, for those 45 minutes or that hour, because it makes me happy. It makes me happy to know that I've been working at this for a minute now and seeing the results are amazing. And I want to keep seeing those results. I want to keep being amazing. I want to keep putting myself in situations to help me become more healthy, more sound mind, and more aware of what's going on with me physically, right? And then think about it. When you start to get tired, you start having headaches out of nowhere, and you start to feel drowsy, it's because you're not pursuing your physical. No, you're worried about, like I said, what's next. You're probably worried about money. You're probably worried about your next move and where you're going next. But when your body starts to talk to you, listen. Listen to your body telling you, you gotta slow down. You gotta take a rest. Because the next thing you know, you're ending up in the hospital, right? And you're finding out things that maybe it was time for you to find out about yourself, or maybe you weren't ready to deal with that physically. And then it's gonna force you to take the time out to really invest in yourself and be like, all right, let me start eating right? Let me start getting to the gym. Let me start pursuing my physical happiness, right? And honestly, I'm not saying that is easy whatsoever. When I first started working out, y'all, I literally was like, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This is too much. This is too much. But the moment that I started to see how gratifying it made me feel, I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a try, right? I'm going to give it a try. But that is what pursuing your happiness is all about. It comes to a point in your life where you're tired of complaining. You're tired of just being mad and upset. Like, girl, it's so much stuff going on in the world. People who have less than you have are probably having a more tougher time than you're having in your life right now. Why not choose to celebrate that? Why not choose to celebrate the things that you have? You know, why not choose to celebrate that? Celebrate the things that make you happy. And even if you feel like it may not be big to someone else, what is big to you, celebrate that. Celebrate your happiness, bro. Like, celebrate the fact that you went to the gym 5 times in a week and you lost those 10, 15, 20 pounds, right? Or even if you think about going another route, which may be getting surgery, it's fine. Pursue your happiness physically so you can start to pursue your happiness emotionally and mentally. Because 9 times out of 10, you being sad about something may have something to do with the way you look. But I'm here to tell you that you're beautiful. I'm here to let you know that you were made beautifully and perfectly and created in God's image, right? God makes no mistakes in that. And my whole thing is, if you want to enhance your beauty, by all means, baby boy, baby girl, go ahead and do that. But what makes you happy is what makes you happy. Not what anybody else says, not what anybody else thinks about your physical appearance. It's what you feel and what you think. I love seeing people embracing what God gave them and making it socially acceptable, right? And the thing is, and as an example, like, I love Lizzo. I love how Lizzo is unapologetically Lizzo, right? With the curves and the thickness and all. I love that for her. But she's setting a standard to let other thicker women know that, baby, we're beautiful. Right? There is something about us that God intended just for us, right? And I'm going to show you that, baby, you're beautiful, right? You're great by any means necessary. You're great. Start pursuing your happiness. Start pursuing your happiness. And the last pursuit is pursuing your financial happiness, right? So I would say that most of America is living paycheck to paycheck, right? But I'm just here to tell you that if there is something that you're thinking about doing financially that's going to better help your situation, pursue it. That's it. That's all. Pursue it. Don't be afraid of what comes with you pursuing something outside of your normal 9 to 5 or your 11 to 7. Do it. If you feel like that's going to help you emotionally, mentally, and physically, do it. If it's gonna take some load off of what you've been carrying, do it. And if it's something that you're passionate about, pursue it. Just stop sitting on ideas that God has given you to allow that extra stream of income to come in, right? He gave it to you for a reason. And even if you feel like, oh my God, it's tough, I don't have time for it right now, you got to make the time to do it. You got to make the time to pursue your financial happiness, right? We have to get out of that cycle of just being okay with what it is, right? And I know a lot of us want to be rich or we want to be well off, right? And they say a millionaire has at least 7 streams of income. If you know you're not making it just off that one, baby, go ahead and get just do what you need to do to pursue your financial happiness. Get it done. Get it started. Write that business plan, right? Give it to someone who you feel like, if you want them to look over it, do that. Start putting things in place to help and set you up, your family up, your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids up. Do that. Start pursuing the things that are going to make you happy. And I know finances is or maybe one of the biggest reasons why people aren't happy, right? But in your finances now, make sure that you're being faithful to God. Make sure that you're giving your 10%. Make sure that you're putting your money in places where God would be pleased, right? Or God would be like, all right, baby, I see you, son, I see you, daughter. And you got to make those steps, right? Oh, y'all, I am so sorry for that sneeze. And thank you to everyone who said bless you. But you have to pursue the things that make you happy. And you have to pursue those things not because you have to, it's because you get to. And that was something that I heard in church today that really stuck out to me. You know, you don't do it because you have to. You do it because you get to, right? Think about it. It's all about choices. Pursuing your happiness is all about your choices. Regardless of if you feel like it may be a good choice in that moment and it turns out to be a bad choice, but it's okay because you learn from those choices. You learn from everything that God has given you, whether it's a lesson, a blessing, for a reason, or the season. You have to remind yourself that your happiness has to be one of the biggest things and one of the best things that you can ever decide to pursue besides your purpose and besides God. And pursuing all those things brings a big bucket of happiness, right? You have to believe that. You have to believe that God wants you to be happy because He does. But like I always say, are there going to be times where you struggle? Yes. Are there going to be times where things just don't be seen to go on your way and it makes you mad? Yes. But you have to choose to pursue your happiness outside of being mad, outside of being sad, outside of you comparing your life to what you feel like it should be to someone else. Let it go. Pursue your happiness. Pursue the things that make you happy and watch how your life begins to unfold. Watch how your life begins to progress because you chose happiness, not bitterness, not being mean, not being rude, but choosing to take a positive out of every situation that you have been put in, put through, and put over. Pursue your happiness. Oh my God, guys. I really hope you guys got something out of this episode of pursuing your happiness. We have to start doing that. It's 2022. It's time out to be worried, like I said, about what the next person is doing and be worrying about what our purpose is and what God has called us to do. So make sure that you are following us on Instagram at the You're Not Done Yet Pod. Following your girl, your host, Andrea B, at It's Andrea B. And make sure you like us on Facebook. Also, big announcement, the You're Not Done Yet podcast is now on the Opulence Radio Network. You will be able to hear the You're Not Done Yet podcast on Saturdays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I can't wait to hear your comments and your reviews on this episode. Catch us on YouTube. Video will be uploaded there. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, the You're Not Done Yet podcast family. All right. Peace.